Okay, first of all, honestly, I thought they weren't gonna show me Thief, but I'm like, dude, it's like past New Year's now. It's sad that they didn't do Thursday and Friday, but hey, whatever. So, anyways, episode 8, Me Thief. I can't wait, I can't wait. Okay, so remember, Mint is in this drama, and Mint character is the ex for Puin's character. Anyways, Mint's character name is Mim. And remember, she already asked for, what's Puin? Puin's character is, what's his name? Peach. Oh God, Peach. Peach to come over to meet her boss because her boss wants to meet with Peach to make an arrangement for photography. Okay, so this is our boss. He is Touch, and we're not new to T. T was in that summer, and he was not he's not a good person in that summer. So my main question right now is he good or bad in this one? That's the question that I want to ask. You know, the old time that Puin was with this Touch guy and Mim, I was like, I'm shocked that there is no Thee. Normally, Thee would be somewhere out there. And I was like, oh, I spoke too soon. Thee was actually watching his man. I get it. I understand what he's going for. He's like, who's meeting up with my man? I'm shocked. At this point, you're like the relative of Jimmy's character in My Magic Prophecy. You guys do not have important work, I guess. Okay, episode 8 is called White Balance. Now, for people who own a camera, white balance. So when you have that, you see on the camera, you see a WB. WB means white balance. It's basically like you adjust the color to make that white object appear white, but also it's like a color correct. Like for example, if you're on in a sunlight and the sunlight is too brighter than you, and you can adjust that camera to make it look a little bit dull or bright. Or if you're in a room and that room is a little bit too bright, you can also use the camera to actually dim it down a little bit. Or if you're into dark places, you can actually like brighten it. I always thought W means white black, but it means white balance. Also, it can be like temperature too. Okay, while they get to eating and talking, Touch expresses how much she really wanted to meet up with Peach to talk about business because he knows Mim had connection to Peach. He begged her to get a scheduled meeting with Peach. Peach said that because he's actually working with another company, he couldn't be reached. Then Touch made it known that he knows where he's working, who he's working for. He even made it known that he knows that T is in the mafia type of field. And I know Peach wanted to say something, but he didn't. So he bypassed those questions and talked about Touch and the whatever he wanted to work with him. And because Touch said he urgently needs a photographer to do the stuff that he wants on schedule, Peach was trying to bypass not doing it with Touch and asking if he wants someone else to do it for him. And Mim in the background is like, no, we wanted you. You're good. Poor Peach. He's so stuck up. He doesn't even know what he can do at this point. And of course, after the meeting, the perfect person to pick Peach up is his man, Thee. Again, don't you have anything to do, Thee? I mean, like, I get it. You don't want your man to be meeting up with their enemy, but still, don't you got nothing better to do? Anyways, he expresses to Peach that he does not like the fact that he's around this Touch guy. After being sulky and pouty, Thea tries his best to convince Peach to bring him home with him, even though he does have work and a meeting to head to, but he doesn't want to go to a meeting and go to work. He wants to stay with Peach. Peach has to convince him, hit him 2 times to actually tell him to go to work. You know, looking back at it, Peach could never touch Thea. Never. And the fact that you have Mark the driver there and everything is going just like that makes you know how close they come together. Also, in this episode, I can tell that now Mark is comfortable with Peach, that Peach can tell him what to do too. Like, dude, bring this boy to work. And he's like, okay. I love how they tried to act all sick and asked Mark to bring him to an hospital. And Mark literally gave his technique away by saying, oh, we're going to that hospital or the real one. Okay, back at home, Mark is very sad, drinking wine all by himself and looking on an Instagram post that Rome put up. He put up the bracelet that Mark made for him, and I'm like, dude, if he can't put up pictures, how is he allowed to do it? But then again, it's not really photo of a person. It's like a cryptic message kind of thing. But Mark understood, and then while he's looking at it, he saw. Okay, so of course Mark saw. He was about to extend attention like work, but then Thee's like, chill, you're not on the clock. They started sitting and they talking about how much they have a love person that they love and can't be with that person as openly as everyone think they should. Well, okay, so let's talk about Mark for a little bit. We know that Mark is the family bodyguard for Thee, but overall, Thee doesn't look at him as bodyguard. At first, we thought that when we first start the drama, but down the line, you see that Thee only looked at him as bodyguard in workplace, but out of workplace, to Thee, it's not Mark is like another brother to him because they were raised like brothers, but overall, Thee's father raised him as a security guard. But also, we must remember, all three of the Mark and Rome were raised together as like brothers. So the rules does apply to Mark that, love can be dangerous with the field that they're in. So Mark can't even have a relationship itself, especially the fact that he's trying to have a relationship with the same family. Okay, back at the company, we see Aaron again. Aaron meets up with Peach, and Aaron tells Peach that he's here to do some business. Apparently, they're supposed to meeting with some other clients to discuss work. And here comes Touch, that guy that Mim is introduced to do some photography. Apparently, he's here with a modeler that he wants to talk with the company owner because, they negotiated something with some projects that they want and they like the modelers or whatever production. The modeler for Touch is not obviously, it turned out to be Tawan. And honestly, we all know that Aaron is not really okay to be around Tawan because Tawan has a huge temper. I want to know though, how, besides from the huge temper, there's got to be something, the reason why Aaron doesn't want to be around Tawan. Now, I think it's important to tell you before I continue that Thee is not in the meeting room. The only people that are in the meeting room is Adan, Peach, Mim, the Touch guy, Tawan, and Notch. Those are the only ones that are in the meeting room and they're happy to work with Tawan. As you can see, Adan is not so happy to work with Tawan, like I said before. But Aaron is being professional, so he has to keep up the image by saying he is okay because of work. I'm glad how he put aside from business, from personal problems, and just go with work. It's lunchtime, and of course we're going to our lunch with our man, but I was focused on that sign. That sign says heritage dish from Vietnam something. Honestly, in my knowledge or my brain, I think Vietnam food is similar to Thai. They both like spice, right? Okay, so they're outside, but they couldn't get lunch because the line was too long. So Peach brought a little snack, a promotional snack, of course, and then because Thee is wearing too much suit in the sun hot, Peach was trying to loosen it up so he can get a little fresh air. But let's talk about this for a little bit. If you remember clearly in the first episode, you can tell from the first to now that Thee is definitely let go his walls just a lot actually for Peach, because Peach could never get this close to even touch these clothes like this. So all the walls are broken down just for Peach. Also, if you remember, when Peach tries to loosen Thee's clothes, immediately Thee would think that he's naked. I'm like, dude, I'm so shocked you didn't even tell him, oh my gosh, why are you making me go naked? Peach and Thee were caught up into their little love moment that they didn't realize that they do have one person to actually judge them, and that's Peach's sister. Now, normally Peach and his sister would have lunch, so that's why they're talking on the phone. And after they're done talking, Peach started asking about the sister. Peach says he needs more time to talk to his sister because coming up to her and say, oh, I'm dating my boss and your boss at the same time, it's not something that they want to put in the conversation that early in the relationship, do they? Okay, so since Peach will be working with Touch, thinks is not think but knows that it is best to tell Peach about the person that he'll be working for. They said that Touch is not just no ordinary company man, he actually works in the mafia. So basically anybody who's working with or about to work against the is also in the mafia. The only thing is, the Pete Touch is a yakuza who's from Japan, because Japan's mafia word is basically yakuza. And when you're in Japan, fun fact, when you're in Japan, no people in business wise or company wise will let you come into their establishment with tattoos, because tattoos represent yakuzaism, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're at the yakuza man Touch. Touch is talking to Tawan. Apparently Tawan is thanking Touch for helping him get close to Aran. So unfortunately Touch wasn't actually offered, or he didn't want to work with Tawan, but knowing that Tawan wants to work with Aaron and how Aaron is close to working for Thea, he went with it. The bonus is Peach. Peach is actually the one he wants to get close to, because he knows that Peach is close to Thea. Okay, so let's talk about Touch here and his yakuza slash gangster slash mafia life. I'm not Japanese, but the thing is, I've watched a lot of Japanese drama that has to do with mafia and a lot of animes which has to do with tattoos. And I can't stress enough to wonder if, why does the chest tattoos, like those type of tattoos, have to be common in the Yakuza world? Is it common? Because I doubt it. If so, if that's the only method of seeing to make sure, oh yeah, it's a Yakuza thing, then I don't like it. Also, the makeup artist failed. They literally wanted to show that, hey, he has a tattoo, but also they made it look so fake. We want it to be real. Now let's talk about these two lovebirds. Ever since that Peach and Thea are in a relationship secretly, Thea has found any means necessary secretly to try to show his affection to Peach. But the thing is, he failed one job. As a mafia, before you doing all these lovey-dovey stuff, you check your surroundings. I thought Homeboy did, but he was just loving up on the person that he cares about. He didn't even realize that he's in the bathroom and he didn't check any of the stalls. Like, dude, has your awareness dimmed down ever since you've been in relationship with Peach? Now, after Peach and Thea expressed their I love you to each other, they left the bathroom. But then one of the stall opens and it turns out to be Note. Note overheard everything and found out that Peach is dating their boss. Now, in my defense, I am glad that it's Note and it's not an enemy of Thea, because if it was an enemy of Thea, it wouldn't be nice. But yeah, thank God. And Wiwit is not there. Thank God. Everyone is getting their turn. So Adam is there, and then Tawan came, right? And he sat down, wanted to talk to Adam, and Adam is like, you really had to go there, meaning that at this point he didn't schedule himself to do another photography with Tawan. He knew that Tawan actually gains favors to go into the Touch company to be with him, and Tawan is like, I only wanted to be close. I'm like, dude, how much of a red flag are you, sir? After their awkward conversation, Aaron left. Now we have to put our foot in Tawan's foot and shoes and realize that Tawan really loves Aaron, but the way he's approaching it, it's not the very best in my opinion. Then you have T. Honestly, T and Ada and Tawan is kind of in the same boat, but Tawan's side is sinking because T is nowhere near as violent as Tawan. Because let's see Trent. Trent is being friendly with Peach, and T is very jealous when it comes to that. Anyone trying to get close to his man. So yeah, but it didn't go the way Tawan will go. See, like I said, Tawan is very much of a red flag, hot temper type of person, because let me explain what happened. So Peach was trying to take a lighting picture, like testing the lighting with Aaron, and Aaron, like, he said his eyes hurting or itching or something. So Peach approached him to try to figure out or look at his eyes if there anything irritating his eyes, and then comes Tawan. Tawan attacked Peach for no reason at all, because in his eyes he feels like they're together. Also, the way he's acting, it shows that Aaron has not fully broken up with Tawan yet, because at this point, why is he allowed to be near Adam at this point. Tawan lacks trust because if he trusted Adam very much, he wouldn't have attacked Peach the way he did. And he knows Peach, and he knows Peach is professional. So why is he acting the way he is? Possessive red flag. That's why. Okay, let's talk about this because Tawan was about to attack Peach because Peach literally tells him the truth of why our Adam doesn't want to be in a relationship with Tawan. When Tawan's about to punch Peach, the lights went out and then it went back on and we saw Thea. Obviously, Thea did something. The fact that he quietly took care of Tawan was the shocking part. Next thing you know, Notch came and tells Peach's sister that Peach got into a fight with Tawan and now he is badly hurt. Not fully badly hurt, but he did got in a fight. Just the only thing is Tawan was the one that started it. So it's self-defense in Thea's mind. Pull-up asked Notch where her brother is, and she said that he is in the boss's office. Then Note stand up, nervously said or revealed that Peach and their boss are like in a relationship, but how he said it was like coded, so of course people might guessed it or anything. So now Plop is literally going to see her brother and goes to the boss's office. Meanwhile, the overprotective boss is trying many ways to keep his boyfriend alive because in his eyes he needs to go to the hospital, but clearly he's just bruised on his face. So they went for the first aid kit. I love how the first aid kit looked like it's from a military, but the thing is, Thea has never applied anything first aid in his life. Okay, so here comes the sister of Peach. Now, she's definitely marching like she's ready to go for war, but Mock saw her and Mock says people or workers that are below are not allowed to be on this floor. One girl said, okay, then I quit, and she walked past Mock, went into that office and saw her brother with the boss. Okay, so we're at Adam. Adam is completely worried about Tawan because he doesn't know where Tawan is and he's not picking up his calls. Adam, you're so confusing. First, you were worried, then you called, then he showed up. Then you go back to square one to showing that you don't like this person, and I'm so confused. Make it make sense, sir. Okay, now that we're upset, we're kicking him out. Got it. Even then, Tawan doesn't know what he did wrong. Sir, at this point, go ordain. Go to the temple. Do something, because if you don't understand, I don't know what to help you with. This is the part that Tawan will never understand. Because no matter how Adam is telling Tawan that Peach is just a family member, he's too possessive and jealous to know that Peach is just a family member, like a brother. Homeboy is not getting it. He's not getting it. That's the problem. That is the problem. Okay, we're at Plum. Plum just finds out that her brother is dating her boss, which is very shocking because her boss is a mafia, which is also shocking. Okay, knowing that Plum knows about the relationship, Thea is happy, but Thea is telling Plum to call him P. Now, for those who are not Thai, P means like someone older. So normally they will call him Kunti. Kun means Mr. T, but you can call them P. No, it's different. P is different from Hia, H-I-A. Hia means when you're a brother. But brother and P, like Hia and P, are totally two different things. Outside, he went to talk to Ploop and talk about the relationship and talk about how he will not use his title to get anything he wants in the company or something like that. But nonetheless, they did make two statements that reminds me of a past drama. Perfect Liners and E.T. Seeing that his sister is okay with the relationship, they're good. No problems. I do hope, or not hope, I wonder if they're going to put the abusive parents in the drama or the next episode, because we need to know what happened to them. I think it's safe to say that Peach is still going to do photography work for the opponent company, even though he's working with this company. I'm assuming he signed a contract that has to do with something that, remember, Peach is a freelancer. So I'm assuming the contract that he signed makes him okay to still do freelancing while working with the company. This is kind of like a family dinner. So now that Top is okay with the relationship. T feels it's great to celebrate it with a fancy Japanese restaurant. Now, the thing is, Peach doesn't like when T spends his money, but that doesn't say anything about Plop. Plop likes the money spending. Okay, we're back at home, but we notice there's no light. So Peach got a message through the community group, WhatsApp or whatever app they're using, saying that the reason the light is out is because a car crashed into the post and the transformer is exploded. See, the thing I don't understand is, moving on. First off, let me explain how we got here. Because Peach has no electricity, he decided that at first he wanted to go to his sister's condo, but Thea convinced him to go to his place. If you guys haven't noticed this place was actually in the next Prince. When they got inside, Peach sees Thea's family photo, and in that family photo, he sees his mother. His mother is that actress that was in that old time drama that Thea keeps watching. When they got into Thea's room, Peach asked Thea about his mother, because knowing that Thea watched her drama over and over, that's when he knows how lonely Thea is. Correction, how lonely he was, because Peach is there. Okay, so Mark shows up and there's a problem. So when Mark came into the house, he was about to go up to talk to Thea, but the butler said that Thea gave orders that the butlers and the security must not go anywhere near Thea is because he needs private time. You know, Peach is there. But the thing is, that's not the problem. The problem is Mark got a message from Thea's father because Thea found out about Peach, and you know that's not good. Mark, you have one job, like many one job. Ignore that sign and go. Tell this man that his father is literally gonna be back to Thailand when he finds out about Peach. I still don't understand these decor of his house. Like, who puts a tub into a flat pool? That makes no sense. Plus, everything that he owns has his name on it. Is he afraid that people's gonna steal stuff from him or something? And what's with all these candles? Count Dracula doesn't go through this. Okay, so they explained the reason he has names on his stuff, including bathing product, is because back then in the Japanese, when he lives in Japan, they try to poison these family members with bathing product. Nowadays, they have to check the products before they use it and put his name on it to make sure that, okay, that was checked. Then Peach noticed that Thea has a lot of injuries. Thea says most of them is by guns and knife. He got glazed by bullets. But the thing is, why didn't he cover it with tattoos? So before people thought of doing tattoos as a style, they would use it to cover wounds. And before that, they used it to identify tribes. So like, for example, if you're at a different nations, in order for them to know where you're from, they use the tattoo to notice where you're from, know where you're from, like a different tribe. Got an end credit scene. Honestly, Peach couldn't resist. At this point, why not? So, because Thea told Peach's sister to call him PT, Peach is constantly calling Thea Kunti, which is Mr. T, and Thea doesn't like that. Thea told Peach to call him by his middle name, which is Kian, and call him P Kian. I know that Pond is older than Puin, but is Thea older than Peach?